If you walk under the archways on 1st and D Streets in Marysville,
without the community's help, we would not be here.
You will be transported back in time.
It's a small museum, but there is just so much information packed in here. We tried very, very hard to get lots of great detail into every single artifact.
California's history is on display here, part of the Bokhai Chinese Temple.
And then you have all of these photos of Mulong in all.
Heather Young and her family spearheaded the creation of this museum, which chronicles not just Chinese history and culture or creation of the railroads, but the creation of the state as we know it today.
A lot of times in history, in California's history, in the U.S. history, Chinese history is not spoken of that much. And so to have a place where people can come in and not only learn about a different culture than them, but also learn about their own state's history and America's history, because, you know, we did play a part in it.
But the museum hasn't always looked like this. 5 years ago, KCRA3 met up with Young as she tried to preserve what was then an unknown stack of boxes in a room on the other side of the temple.
They had artifacts in them. Just how much, I had no idea. I mean, you're talking like 300 to 500 artifact pieces in there. And, you know, to catalog all of that was just such a huge undertaking. These are the paper mache puppets that we have. We're still trying to figure out exactly what this is.
Figuring out what this and scores of other materials were happened with the help of San Jose State University, who got a grant to catalog all the materials in the temple. But what was supposed to be a one-year project turned into 3.
It was, you know, labor of loves from 2 different interns, and they did a fantastic job, because without that, oh my gosh, that was the foundation of everything that we went off of to pull artifacts to figure out what we would display in here.
Even after that, preserving and displaying the artifacts required money. So Young took a modern sensibility to their historical museum. She turned to Kickstarter. They asked for $10,000. The Marysville community got them that and more.
I had no clue that it was gonna, you know, skyrocket like it did. But I'm obviously so grateful. And then we had private donations, and then we already had a $50,000 grant. So we reached pretty close to $100,000 with the help of everybody to even get this project off its feet.
And just before the COVID-19 pandemic hit in 2020, the museum had its grand opening. The museum centerpiece, Mulong, a restored Chinese dragon.
Mulong's always going to be a huge favorite. We believe it's one of the first dragons to ever come here from China.
But it's the little things that Young really loves, the human touches.
There is a passport over here too of a gentleman from back in the 1800s that, I guess, to me, I'm like, that's a person's story. There's a picture of him there. So it always makes me wonder, you know, what his family, you know, is doing now and what brought him here to the States.
And in a time where the U.S. is seeing more hatred aimed at Asian and Pacific Islanders, Young and the members of the Marysville Temple see their little corner of First Street as a connection to their community.
One of the great things about Marysville is that people really do open up to some new cultural experiences and getting to know something that may be different than them.
In Marysville, Ty Steele, KCRA3 News.
Some real treasures there. Well, the temple and the museum are also in charge of the Bokhai Parade every year for Chinese New Year, which they did as a drive-through last year. The museum and temple are back open now with an appointment.